The man had simply come with his friend to feed the crocodiles at the pond, but when he reached the rock in the center of the pond, his friend Mark suddenly pulled away the wooden plank bridge while the man wasn't paying attention, leaving Jack alone to face the group of fierce crocodiles. Only then did he realize he had fallen into his friend's trap. Soon, the crocodiles in the pond began to stir restlessly. Jack had no time to hesitate and picked up pieces of meat from the ground, throwing them far away, hoping to divert the crocodiles' attention. However, this action only stimulated their appetite, and they quickly crawled toward Jack. At this critical moment, Jack suddenly spotted a small boat not far away. He hurriedly turned the dial on his high-tech watch, and to his surprise, the boat slowly began to be drawn toward him. But just when Jack thought he could successfully escape, the boat was held fast by a rope tied tightly to it. By this time, the crocodiles had already reached Jack's side. He immediately threw the last piece of meat to the crocodiles, but it still had no effect. Just when Jack was feeling desperate, he suddenly noticed that the crocodiles had formed a floating bridge in a row. So Jack made a bold decision. He quickly rushed across toward the opposite shore. Fortunately, Jack managed to escape from the pond without serious harm, but he didn't leave immediately because Jack wanted to make Mark pay a heavy price. He immediately used pieces of meat to attract the distant crocodiles over, then opened the fence for the crocodiles and guided them into the house. But even this wasn't enough to satisfy him. So Jack poured gasoline around the house, intending to burn him alive with fire. However, the sound of the explosion alerted Mark to the danger, and he managed to save his life. The thoroughly enraged Mark immediately ordered his men to capture Jack, but by this time, Jack had already left on a speedboat. Yet shortly after he left, Mark's men chased after him in a boat. The two sides quickly engaged in a chase on the lake. At this moment, a man on shore was preparing to intercept via a shortcut, but unexpectedly he was spotted by a police officer. Just as the man reached his destination, the police caught up with him, and he had no choice but to submit to the police inspection. But just at that moment, Jack came speeding toward them in his boat,